right. Apparently we are going live right now. So let me see. The computer says I'm live. Woohoo! Welcome back to my live stream. This is Wednesday. And today I've just decided to continue on my learning on gouache. But before we even get started with everything, one question I would like for those of you who are listening is, can you hear me all right? Is everything okay? Can you see me okay? And can you see me all right? And you know, I will make sure that everything is in in the correct state here and that everything is centered. But in the meantime, let me know if everything is all right, if you can see, if you can hear, and so on. And then I will start with the real everything. Okay. We're 1 minute in. So today we're going to attempt something. Hi Johan, and by the way, hi Marlena. I love your little hearts. Every time we do something, we do with the heart. Okay, Johan says we hear you. Okay, then it's awesome. As you remember, last time I tried to work a little bit with the designer gouache. We did some exercises with it. We did some, you know, trying out. And then I did just a black and white piece, right? But now I actually wanted to have a piece that is not only black and white, but has color, and it's like a flowery. And I also wanted to try more cold press paper. Last time I did in hot press paper, right? And I said that didn't really enjoy it because of the streakiness and so on, and I just wanted to try the cold press paper, right? I'm not gonna do the guideline for the wreath just yet because I just want to have a background first, right? So let me tell you what I want to learn. I want to learn is how do I layer colors properly, right? And how do I make a kind of a flower wreath, you know, that the type of flowery that I want in gouache. It's gonna be a very simple one. I want to have a background where I'm going to do a color that is more of a really light peach color. That's gonna be our background. Then the wreath is gonna have white flowers in, and then some flowers with maybe blue or maybe like a purple, small flowers, purple, like all around. And maybe some purple and red flowers all around, and then you know, the stems is gonna be with green and so on. So this is kind of my idea. Now I have no idea if it's gonna work or not because it's my first time trying it, but let's see. How can I layer, how can I do stuff, and we're gonna learn together. Okay, so if you are interested, check out my other gouache video where I just play around with the colors. This is like the second session, and then we're gonna start. So what is my paper? My paper today is Arches cold press. It is a 20 by 20 centimeters or 7.9 by 7.9, and it's a cold press paper. Okay, I taped it because I want to have a nice border around my wreath. Okay, so it's gonna be taped, and the gouache I have is the Windsor Newton gouache set. I only have 6 colors, and this is what we're gonna use, and we're gonna just mix and match and do stuff. Okay, I have a bunch of brushes here, flat brushes and round brushes, anything that you can use. The round ones is gonna be easier to do the leaves and the flowers, and the flat brushes, especially the big flat one, I just want to do the background, right? Then I have my water and everything else. So first we're gonna get around to actually making sure that we make our color, right? So I had the color in mind. I have never tried to do that color before, so it's gonna be our first time. So I'm taking my white and I'm trying to put I think white I will need a lot, so you know, I'm gonna put some more chunks of white here and there. This is a ceramic palette. It doesn't cost a lot. I bought it somewhere via Amazon Japan, but I think it was like $10, then something like that. Like, that was the idea. So to make that peach, I'm thinking we need some yellow and a little bit of red. So I'm going to put the yellow here, And then I'm going to put some red in this tiny, and the red is, what is it? It's called primary red. Doesn't actually say what it is. Permanence B series primary red. Okay, then it's primary red. Okay. The yellow is just primary yellow. They don't have very inspiring names, do they? And then the white is just white. Okay, I'm not going to use the other colors just yet. I just want to have the background color. So I'm going to go around and try to, with a smaller brush, try to mix and match these colors. And then I'm thinking, to get that peach color, I need to mix white with yellow and then add a little bit of red until I get the correct color that I want. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick up from the white and we're gonna start mixing in with the yellow. I'm gonna make a big puddle here in the middle. I'm thinking that I'm going to need a lot of color, so you know, I'm mixing all my white with all my yellow. I'm just making a big old puddle. And I'm thinking I probably need the other white as well, just to lighten everything up. Okay. I think I need some water. This is the problem with this gouache. It just dries out very quickly. Okay, I need a pipette and I need to just add small drops of water. Just 2 drops of water with a pipette. I don't want to add more, just to make it a little bit more, how do you say, that it is. So for now, it's just a pale yellow. I don't want that pale yellow. I want it to go towards the peach, right? So then I'm just going to add slightly, just a little bit of red, and then see where that brings us, right? And I think that's little bit of red that I took is already towards that color that I wanted. Okay, but this is more orangey than I was thinking. Maybe I actually need a tiny smidgen bit more of red. Okay, I'm just gonna add the reds until I am satisfied with the color. Okay, I think this is enough. This is more peachy. Yeah, this is peachy enough. And then I need to mix this color. I think I have enough color. I will add just a smidgen of water, and we are going to try to cover up everything. Okay, so let's see if my hunch is correct, and then we can cover everything up. Because I have quite some color on this brush, I'm just gonna use it, even though maybe it's not the big brush that I was hoping for. I'm gonna use this one. Okay, so how do we go about it? It's just how I look at it. I know it's gonna dry differently, but it's okay. It's okay. It's gonna have a good contrast. So I'm gonna start up and I'm gonna move my way down. Okay, so I'm going to try to make it as smooth as possible. Okay, because I know that this paper has a texture. Okay, and I'm making this very, I don't want to add water just yet. I'm making this very, I'm gonna add water at the end when I'm gonna smooth things out, but I am pressing very lightly and I'm going back and forward. Yeah, that's it. And I keep adding just a little bit of water just to keep it flowing, and then we're gonna see how it looks like. Okay, this is gonna be our background. Maybe not the peach color that I was necessarily looking for or hoping for, but it is okay. Still looks pretty, still looks nice, and I think I have enough color created so that I have this background, right? Because we're gonna do this wreath on it. It's okay, I don't think I need a second layer if I go back and smooth things out with water. It actually works much better than I was hoping for on cold press paper because of the texture. It kind of automatically smooths itself out, you know? So this is my secondary tryout to see how I can have a smooth blend on cold press paper, and it's not going as bad as I thought it's going to go. So, okay, I'm still surprised so far. Maybe the smooth paper has more trouble than we have bargained for. And if you're wondering how did I come up with this, I was actually watching another tutorial, and it was about a tutorial how to make a wreath in Procreate. And then I got the idea, it's like, okay, it's how do I make a wreath in Procreate? But actually, if I think about it, it's Procreate is the same as gouache painting, because it's not like with watercolor where you do your lightest color, you start light and you go dark, but Procreate and gouache, you know, usually you start dark and then you go with the lighter stuff. So it was kind of the similar process, right? So let's see if this is something that I wanted to smooth things out and see how that goes. So I'm just bringing in some water. I'm not pressing very hard. This is the trick to getting a smooth blend, okay? I am not pressing hard at all. I'm not pressing hard at all. And now I'm just adding water. I'm not adding anything else, just water. And I start a bit more down and then I blend in into up, okay? I'm starting more down and I'm blending into up. The streaks are back. I think it's a very big surface and it dries out very fast. I think that's why I get this trickiness, right? And maybe I just need to work with a bigger brush. Let's see if I work with a bigger brush, what happens. Okay. I really need to be closer by to what I'm doing so I can see the streakiness and the stuff. Yeah. But I think it goes much better than on hot press paper, to be honest. Maybe it's also the quality of the paper. Okay, I'm just gonna let it dry, okay? Because and welcome to everybody that is joining and is watching us and is looking at us. I'm just gonna let it dry, and then we're gonna see if we need a second layer, or maybe I just zap it. I zap it with the zapper. Let's zap it with the zapper. Let's see if we can speed up the drying process. I'm sorry for those of you who's gonna be like, cover your ears. Please cover your ears. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm using I'm using a heat blower, and this is very important. Okay, I'm gonna switch brushes to a bigger brush, and I'm gonna do a second layer. So I want to see if I pick up a lot of paint on my brush, if I can do it. If I just go back and forward like this, if I can just do it as a secondary layer. Just to cover any remaining parts. Okay. This is anyway the last batches of the color, so I cannot make more. You know, the funny part about it is that with watercolor, it's very easy to get the same color over and over again. But somehow with gouache, not so easy. It feels like a very hard thing to do. So then that's it for the color. I think it will be smooth enough, right? If I let it to be dry again. I don't even know what you guys are seeing on the screen. Maybe you're seeing more streaks than I do. Just gonna go back and forward till down, down and up, down and up, down and up. Smoothing out everything. Should be fine. Should not be too many streaks. Okay. And that was about it. I'm not sure if everything will show because I'm planning to add lots of flowers and lots of stuff. So, you know, in a way you could think of doing with the white, with the water from the other direction. Like, how about we do it like this? So that should take care of some of the streaking. Right, we break it out and we do it in the other direction. I'm also trying out stuff, right? It's not like I am the person that knows everything. I somehow wish I had a bigger brush. Yeah, that's good. Actually, going the other direction helped a little bit. So, dun, dun, dun. I don't think I'm yet at the stage where I can do a perfect layer, perfect smooth layer, but I'm quite happy with it, right? And after this, I'm going to draw it out, and then I'm going to just slightly draw the wreath, and then we're gonna go with the flowers and with the stuff, yeah? what is amazing is that I can see the color change when it dries, and indeed it dries lighter than what it was. It really dries lighter. It's one from the angle that I'm watching in here, I can see the change and I can see everything happening in real time. So that is very interesting. Okay, I'm actually going to ensure that my brushes are clean. Gouache really goes into the bristles of these brushes, so I think I'm gonna have to, under running water anyway, do it. And now I'm gonna clean this part of the palette because I wanna put my next color. My next color is gonna be just white, because actually the leaves are gonna be white. So I'm gonna start with the leaves, and then we're gonna do the tiny flowers to fill in the wreath, and then the stems, and with the green and stuff. So we're working kind of in layers. The only thing is I could always do first the tiny flowers and the green leaves, and then put the white leaves on top. That would give me kind of the same view as you have on Procreate, but I don't think my white is good enough to say yeah, it's actually going to go very good on top. So I'm gonna use a different type of white. So by the way, there's two type of white, right? There's kind of permanent white, or this white that I have here, right? There's zinc white, right? Zinc white is mostly for mixing, okay? And then there's another one that's called permanent white, and that is the white that you should put when you want to do something on top. So, oh, something happened there. Okay, somehow the entire oil of this, the entire medium and the entire oil of the gouache has, like, the oil has a the gouache has a binder, and for some reason the entire binder went out. Okay, let me see if I can mix the binder with the gouache here, but this surprises me. This is why I maybe not 100% like the gouache. So I mixed all that binder together with the color. I'm going to have to clean this brush here. Let's see, I'm trying to mix it in the tube so I don't have the binder anymore, but let's see if that works. I want quite some white, so I don't understand what happened with the binder, but maybe because I haven't used it in a very long time, the binder is just very runny and very, right? It's okay. I'm not gonna use the flat brush for the leaves. I'm going to use a round brush for the leaves. Okay, so we're just gonna go there, and we're just gonna look how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna clean my brushes afterwards. Okay, I'm gonna use a number 6 brush. This is a Escoda Prado, and it has really a nice tip, right? So that's why I'm gonna use this one. It's still a little bit cold, but you know, I'm just gonna try to draw very lightly. The point is, I do not think I can remove the pencil. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do some small bits just so I can know. So I'm not doing a full circle with the pencil because I cannot guarantee that I can erase it with an eraser or anything, right? So I just made some lines across, that's it. And then I will know, and then I'll go, especially on these ones, you know, I'll go with the white paint over it, and then I can do it. But I don't want to do a full thing here. Okay, so Let's see how this goes. What I heard is, first of all, that the paint needs to be really dry for this to work. So I'm going to zap it again until I don't feel any coldness from the pad. Let's see if now, if I put my hand on it, if I put my hand on it, it's no longer kind of wet. So that means I really dried it. What I want to avoid is my brush picking up the layer underneath and then mixing the colors up and so on, right? So what is the idea of this wreath? I'm going to make like 3 leaves, 3 leaves, 3 leaves going around, and then I'm going to add some smaller leaves in between, and then I'm going to add the flowers with a different color. And the flowers are going to be very simple flowers and everything. It's going to be a very simple wreath. Yeah? So this is what we're going to do. This is what we're working on. I put way too much gouache on my brush, but let's see. Okay. I am starting, and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to first do the stem, and then I'm gonna use the belly of the brush, and that's gonna be interesting. So I'm using the belly of the brush to make the leaf, okay? And then I'm painting it over like this, just giving the impression of a leaf. Let's do it again here. Just gonna add like three leaves. To be honest, in Procreate it was much easier to do this. Okay. Doesn't go as smooth as I wanted it to be, but the coverage is still okay. I mean, I'm going to have to go back and do a second layer, but it's okay, right? It doesn't go as smooth as when you do watercolor. Like when you do watercolor, using the belly of the brush is very easy to do, especially when you come back, when you want to do the tip, right? So okay, I'm gonna round the leaves over, and I'm gonna make sure that they're okay. Definitely not as smooth as watercolor. Not what I was expecting, but that's okay. I'm having a feeling that this one's I need to make them a little bit bigger. I went way too small on these ones. It's okay, but yeah, you learn and you do. It's my first time using the belly of the brush with gouache. I mean, I don't usually use that, and I don't usually do that, so it's the first time. Okay, so and I'm gonna make this stamen go, and then I'm gonna make one in the middle go. So notice how always the tip of the part is never, it's not as easy. It doesn't glide as easy. Maybe I'm doing something. Maybe I should have added a little bit more water. So it's definitely not behaving like watercolor. And it's okay. It's a learning process. I think maybe I need to turn this one away like this. And then just do a different process here. I'm definitely gonna add some smaller leaves also with white, but it's okay. Okay. So where do I think I need some extra leaves? I think here I need a leaf or two that are smaller, maybe here. Here. I'm just filling in the wreath where I think there needs to be one or two leaves. Here definitely one or two leaves more. And here also. Let me see. If I turn it around and if I do this like this. Yeah. And then maybe a smaller one. And then maybe here. 1, 2. And then maybe here. So I'm just going around and just filling in as I see fit, okay? It has no rhyme and reason, and I'm gonna come with the other ones with the flowers on top of these ones, right? It's actually going to look pretty nice. I'm trying in the other direction to see if that works. Okay. Even just like this, it looks nice. And now if I'm gonna add the lines in the middle, it's gonna look really nice. Right. Okay. Do you have any questions so far? Because you know, I'm just talking and doing, but I don't know if you have questions or not. Okay, I think I filled it in enough. I'm going to go with maybe a secondary layer on some of these leaves because I can still see the background showing and I don't want that. Okay, so I'm doing a secondary layer of white and then making sure that the shape of the petal is okay. And then when it's dry, I'm going to do the middle of the petals. And the middle is going to be with a slightly more darker combination of the red with the yellow and everything in between. Okay, it didn't go as bad as I thought it's going to go. I thought that I'm going to totally take the other layer from underneath, and I totally thought it's gonna become a mess. But actually, it's not that bad. It didn't become a mess. I didn't pick up really all the layer underneath. It's just I realized that we always need a little bit more layers than just one to have a full coverage, okay? And it's only visible actually once it dries. It's very interesting. Okay. Dun dun dun. And then what else? This one. This one also requires some. I'm really enjoying this process, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna rotate again. And I'm gonna go second layer on other ones that I think require second layer of white. So far so good. It's just a simple wreath, right? It should not take us a lot of time. And I'm really surprised at how smooth everything is. I mean, I would have thought that on cold press paper this is gonna be much more streaky and much different, but actually it's not. I'm pretty surprised. It could be that because it's such a good paper that, you know, we don't have this type of problems. So everything is okay. The coverage is good from the white, to be honest. I don't even see the pencil lines from underneath, which is good. So far so good. I'm going to add more white on these ones, on the small ones, and maybe add a tiny bit one. And I will add one here. Okay. To be honest, I think I've done so far so good. It's actually looking very good. Okay. Okay. So this is part of the simple wreath, and now I'm going to go with a tinier brush, and I'm going to go with my tiniest that I have here. I think it's on number 2, and I'm just going to go another line, and it's gonna be this combination. I have some red on my palette, yeah, and some, it's gonna be like pinkish like that, but I still want to add some more white. I don't want it to be so strong, right? I actually need it to be lighter a bit. And let's see how that brings. And maybe I need a little tiny bit, smidge of yellow, because I need to make it as close by, not as close by, but you know, we need to have that kind of peachy color there. Okay, a darker peachy color. If that makes any sense. I'm mixing some colors here. A darker and redder peachy color. Yeah, found it. At least on the palette. I cannot give you exact measurements because I'm just mixing colors until I think I got what I want. So don't ask me to give you exact measurements. It's just yellow with red and white until I got the peach color that I want. That's it. Okay. So now I'm just gonna do a line in the middle on all of them. and I'm pressing very lightly so that I don't do a very thick line. Okay, almost perpendicular to everything. Okay, I added a smidge of water so that it glides better. Okay, this one I think I needed a bit bigger line. Okay. Okay. I am adding some water so I can dilute it and then it glides easier. Okay, the downside of adding too much water, and this is something that I need to test out and do, is that it becomes more washed out color, so it cannot be as opaque as you want it to be. Okay. Okay. But I think it's okay so far. It just brings a little bit the leaves together. I'm not gonna do too much. I'm not gonna do all the details that I normally do in a leaf, right? But just a little bit of detailing like this really helps. So and really gives a bit of a 3D dimension to the leaf, because I'm not doing these lines exactly in the middle, so you know, it looks like the leaves are a little bit turned maybe. So that gives them a little tiny bit of pizzazz. So the little flowers, they're gonna be just looking like a little bit of flowers, but they're not gonna be like very defined. I'm gonna show you how I do it. It's just 2 or 3 strokes. You don't need much. So, and I'm gonna keep this peach because I want to do maybe some flowers with the peach as well. Okay. Okay. I think so far it looks pretty nice and it looks pretty peachy. I'm gonna still use the tiny brush because, to be honest, I don't need a bigger brush for the things. I just need to really clean it very good. This gouache is very stainy. Luckily, these are brushes that I've decided I'm not gonna use for watercolor anymore. Okay, so these are just some really nice brushes for what I'm planning to do. Okay, so the next is gonna be some flowers and some different type of leaves, but I'm just gonna use the green and mixing it with some white, and I'm going to use the blue and also mixing it with some white. Okay. Okay, so what are we doing? The blue. The flowers are gonna be blue, and then I'm gonna add some details with a lighter shade of blue, right? So let me show you what I mean by flowers. So I'm going to make some clusters, and it's gonna be just 2 strokes. 2-stroke flowers. Okay, you cannot go wrong with 2-stroke flowers. Definitely not. Okay, so it's gonna be like this. Let's start somewhere here. So I'm going to make like this of flower, and then so 1 petal like this, and one small one like this, or maybe the small one here and then the bigger one here on this other time. And I'm going to do the same here. So stroke, stroke. I'm gonna do one on top of the leaf. So stroke, stroke, and then here, maybe here, stroke, stroke. These are the blue flowers that I'm talking about, okay? Nothing fancy, it's just blue flowers. Like 2 petals, that's it. 2 petals, okay? And then this one. And then like this. Okay, I'm moving these things around, and I'm gonna make here this one stroke, and then another one. I'm not very good at very tiny things with gouache yet. I think my brush is feeling too clunky, and I think I don't have the right consistency of gouache, but it's okay. We're learning. We're learning. Okay, I'm going to rotate again. Okay, remember, rotate. It's easier to rotate your artwork than not to rotate it. Okay. Okay. Here, I'm gonna do the same. Just gonna do these ones, and then we're gonna do the stamens. Okay, with the other one, and we're gonna add some detailing. Okay, I'm gonna say one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. Okay, I will see after I add the stamen if actually I need some more. So I'm gonna pick up some white, and I'm going to really make this one a little bit more white, because actually I want to add some detailing. So you notice how I made this blue a little bit lesser blue. I'm gonna add some more water. Actually, maybe I want to make it even more lighter blue. Okay, more water, dilute it, make it more like not a very thin consistency, right, but not chunky anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the lines, the flowers, and I'm gonna add a small bit of a detailing on them, like this. Might not look perfect, but at least it gives them some dimension, right? It gives them a little bit of dimension. And then we're gonna go around and do the stamen and the leaves, and on the leaves we're gonna add some detailing with lighter color of green. Okay. Okay. And maybe at the end I'm just gonna add some more flowers with this lighter blue directly. Okay, so I'm cleaning up my brush, and then we're gonna go in and we're gonna mix in this green. Actually, I want to make it a little bit more lighter. I don't want it to be so dark, and I need to change a bit the consistency so that it glides better. So I'm adding water. Okay, so now my decision is the following. I'm going to have to make a decision here. Some of the statement is gonna go beyond beneath the white, and some is gonna be on top of the white. So let's see how that goes. I'm going to start here. So yeah, both stamens are gonna go like this. Okay, look how pretty it looks. It looks so pretty. And then this one will go like this, and then this one will go also like this. I'm gonna add the leaves afterwards. So first the stamen. Okay, so this one, to be honest, it goes beneath this white one. I need more water so that it glides, and this one just hides beneath this like this. So maybe I don't have the perfect brush control that I need to have with this one. I saw some people that are going like really good, right? It's okay not to have perfect brush control, because you know what, this requires practice. Let me see. Oh, I have a little bit of a hair there. This is what happens when you have kitty cats. Okay, so okay, beneath this, beneath this, beneath this. I'm gonna do all these nice flowers here, and then we're gonna add some more detailing, and we're gonna add some more leaves. And the leaves are gonna be with green. Okay, so tiny brush and brush control, two things you can do. Always keep the brush perpendicular. Makes no sense not to. Okay, I made this one a little bit too thick, but it's okay. Okay, I think I had all of them, and now I'm gonna come and I'm gonna bring a little bit more white, make it even more open. More white for mixing. Tam tam tam. And I'm going to do some tiny leaves. Okay, and then I'm going to add the detail on the leaves with the darker green. This way we can have some fun. So yeah, that's gonna work perfectly fine. I'm using the belly of the brush to make this leaf. And what do I mean by I'm using the belly of the brush? I'm just dragging the brush along. Okay, so start small, press, lift. Start small, press, lift. Okay, here as well. Start small, press, lift. Okay, you catch my meaning, right? Start, draw a line, press, lift. Right, draw a line, press, lift. draw a line, press, lift, line. So line, press, line, basically. Line, press, line. Line, press, line. Right, line, press, line. Okay. Line, press, line. So it's a lot of repeating this exercise, right? Press line. These are smaller, so they don't really matter that much. They don't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect, right? We're just doing stuff and having fun, to be honest. Because I don't know about you, but I was missing some fun in my life. Okay. I think I managed to do really good on the colors. To be honest, I'm really liking this green and these colors. I'm really liking these ones. Okay. I keep adding some water so that it doesn't dry out, and just like that. Okay. And maybe I don't even need to add the detailing with the darker blue, with the darker green, but maybe I'll just add one or two leaves with the darker green, right? That will tie things up a little bit. And then I'll add some tinier dots and flowers with the pink, like where I think it kind of needs it. So far, so good. So far, it actually looks really good. So, okay, now darker green. I'm going to try to add some leaves here and there, and then I'll maybe add as detailing with white. Okay, like where I think it needs a little bit of pizzazz. Not everywhere, but I think I do need some different kind of leaves here and there on top of everything. Yeah. Again, when it becomes a little bit too difficult to move the brush on the paper, just add a little bit more water, then it glides always very good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And now I said I'm going to use this cool one, and I'm just gonna let some stuff dry just to add some white detailing, but I'm going to use this pinkish one, which is really awesome. I really want it. And this color I'm gonna use to add more flowers. And these are gonna be very muted, to be honest, and it's gonna have a little bit more petals than the blue one, but they're gonna be fine. think they look much better on the white leaves, but yeah. I'm gonna add as a centerpiece for these flowers some detailing with red, okay? Just so that it looks much better. I really need some water. Yeah. And let's make the stamen a little bit with this nice color, this nice green. So we're gonna go like this, or like this, like this, like this. It's still a really nice wreath, I think, right? And it so far was easy. It doesn't require much drawing skills or anything. It's a simple, easy wreath, and I think anybody can do this. It doesn't require much thought, to be honest. It requires a lot more like going around a circle and doing some stuff, okay? And filling in with color some areas. That's about it. You're gonna see that it looks much better once I remove these borders. Okay, so I said that I wanted to go with a little bit more red, so, or more darker color, and I'm just gonna utilize this one. So now we're gonna add just the highlight, right? The highlight on these ones. It just needs a little bit of highlight. So I'm not doing anything other than I'm dragging the brush on the flower itself. I'm not doing anything special. And the important thing is not how it looks up close, because up close maybe it looks a little tiny bit weird, but how it looks from above, okay? So that's why it's important that we add some accents here and there. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna need some white to add some lines on top of the green. And I think that will be the end of it, because I don't think I need anything more than this. I think things have been quite okay. Okay. So let's see if I can add a very tiny line. So I don't want to add too much, but the leaves might need, some of them, just a smidge of a line, just to show that they're leaves, and to tie them up with the other leaves. Okay. And that's it. What do you guys think so far? Do you like it? Do you not like it? This was it for today. What I wanted to learn, I learned, because I wanted to see how gouache behaves on top of cold press paper. I have to say that I'm pretty impressed, and I wanted to see how real gouache layering looks like. And I have to say again, it went okay. Not as bad as I thought. I didn't pick up too much color on my brush from the previous layer, but then I did make sure that everything is super dry. Okay. This was my wreath, and now I'm going to do the, you know, the mandatory peeling, and we're gonna see how it looks like. Okay, because I think with the border you're gonna see that it looks much better now. The thing that I like about this cold press paper is that the peeling of the masking tape is as easy as it can be. There's no problem with it. There's nothing that goes wrong with it. Like if you would do that on a hot press paper, like the paper gets really damaged by it. So wow, this looks really nice. Okay, I think we've succeeded. Oh, Marlena says it's beautiful and colors are gorgeous. Thank you so much. I think we've succeeded actually in doing this. It's quite a nice wreath, and I succeeded in actually making also some tiny flowers and everything. Maybe next time I would do a bigger paper so that I have a little bit more in the middle. But all in all, you know, I get to play around with my gouache. So that's really nice, and that's really good. I think it looks still gorgeous, and I think that I managed to get the color in, you know, the background really smooth. So all in all, a success. See you next time, and next time we're just gonna go with some more watercolor and some more flowers, and we're gonna learn some flowers, and maybe we're gonna do some cooler stuff. Okay, but in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here with me, and see you next time.